Here we are at the Kipriotis Village in Kos. This is the entrance, and what I want to do is give you a nice, proper, no-nonsense review. Okay, so classed as a 4-star, I notice they've actually removed the stars from their main sign here. We are going to give you a proper review on actually what the hotel is, where it sits, the food, the facilities, and all the stuff in between. So to break it down, we were actually going to cancel this holiday given the reviews that we read on TripAdvisor and websites and all the various bits and bobs. It was coming out as kind of 1-star at best with food, facilities, rooms, air conditioning, but we decided to come anyway, and here we are. So what I'm going to do is give you a walkthrough from reception in here. We're going to have a look at the layout of the land, where the seaside is, but overall first impressions are very good and were very good. We've been here 5 days now. If you're worried about car parking, there is plenty places to park. So if you want to rent a car, we rented our car from Autobank in the airport. It was €450 for a Toyota Corolla hybrid. Nice car, aircon, all the rest of it, 5 doors, and it's been behaving itself apart from yesterday when we had a slight breakdown. But they're very good, very efficient. You get all insurances, etc. There's no deposit, so when they take debit cards, plus. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a walk into the reception area now, which is up this path here, which leads you up nicely to reception area. So hold out. So the reception area leads up from the car park multiple ways in, up to the nice glass front here. It is quite a windy day, but don't let that put you off because the wind is actually quite nice. It helps you cool down. It's about 30, 33, 35 degrees on any one day, and the wind is quite warm, so it really is quite refreshing actually. So into the main reception, which is lovely and air conditioned. Actually helps a lot when you come in here. So if you're checking in, you go over to your left and you'll check in at reception, and that's us in the air conditioning, which is whoo nice. So, hotel reception, what you see is what you get. There's the Autobank if you want to rent a car from here. Same people that we rented from, but we got it direct from the airport. A couple of seating areas. And then down this corridor is where your main restaurant is, so we'll have a quick nosy down here. So further down the corridor, you've got more seating areas, another bar over there. Outdoor seating areas, which is all very clean, all very tidy. We'd certainly look the part for your 4-star. Main restaurant entrance is here for the first floor, and that's where you get your dinners, your lunch, and your breakfast. And that's in a separate video. We'll cover the food in an entirely separate video. However, just to recap, food times are as here. Breakfast is about 6:30 to about 11:30. Buffet lunch about, lunch is 12 till 3, and then dinner is 6:30 till 9. It does say midnight snacks from 11 till 12, hot soup and snacks. We have yet to see that, but again, covered in a separate video. Just briefly though, restaurant area, that's the kiddies part. Outdoor seating on the balconies. The main one is there, the Macchionia. It's in through there. And then there's more outdoor seating up above there, which faces the front of the hotel. Anyway, back round to the reception area, and what we'll do is we'll go down the main steps, which is just ahead over there. Back in a minute. So we're back towards the main reception area. There's a seating pack then, and then this main doors lead you out onto the access steps that effectively lead you into the complex here, which by visual standards, very, very pretty. Lots of outdoor seating on the balconies, which is the main restaurant through the glass window there, and down the steps, which effectively brings you to the first set of pools. Now, to give you a bit of an orientation, because it's not overly clear in some of the YouTube videos we've watched, your pirate pool is here. It's the first one you come to. There's a bar over there. The big Olympic pool sits just behind it. Okay, so we'll try and have a look at that as we go down. And if you want orientation, the beach is over this way. Okay, so we actually got the long way around the first day we arrived, but I'll show you the way to the beach in a minute. But what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the pirate pool down here. Actually forgot to mention, just at the bottom of these steps, when you do check in, which will probably be kind of 11 p.m, 12 midnight, there's usually vans sitting at the bottom here waiting to pick up your luggage and then take you off into the rooms, which is more of a village style. It's not really a high-rise hotel. It's lots of different rooms and apartments. So we'll have a look at the overhead map in a second just to give you an orientation. But there's your first pool, which is what we call the pirate ship slide. Now there's a lot of complaints about the green water here and algae. It is not green, it is the colour of the tiles, which you can see from there. It's a kind of translucent opaque tiles. The water is perfectly clear, it is not dirty. There's lots of people sitting here. Sunbeds are average if you can get them, and then there's a small toddler pool over there. We haven't really been in that, we don't have toddlers, but that's the kind of the first pool you will come to, okay? Right to your left is the underground restaurant. This is where you have your lunch, your buffet style lunch over here. Again, we'll cover that in the food video. Main restaurant above, buffet style one below. We've used this one most of the time because it's more air and there's a better selection, like pizzas and bits and bobs, a bit more lunchy, snacky. There is a noodle bar. We have never tried it. Sits right underneath the steps we just came down. And then there's a small section of entertainment over there with some of the arcade games, and then there's a little shop on the inside which sits just in through the doors on the right. So in those doors and the kind of ground basement levels, the Italia restaurant haven't actually booked it, so can't comment. Again, maybe have a look at that before we go. There's a kind of shoppy thing that sells hats and bits and bobs. And then round the corner to your right is a little mini supermarket thing. It does the basics, does some drinks, snacks, reasonably priced, not outrageous apart from the sun cream, which is absolutely mega bucks. So if you want sun cream, bring it with you, because check the price of that. Woo! In our money that's about 23 quid, so bring it with you. Has all the creams, drinks, snacks, hats, any of that stuff that you need. A few floaties as well, again not outrageous, about 15 to 20 euros per float device. Cold drinks, which you will need, because again, what we'll cover in the food video, in your all-inclusive, this is not covered, so you will be buying bottles of water, but again quite reasonably priced at 50 cents, but you go through them at the rate of knots. So, but anyway, that's the little mini supermarket, ground floor. We'll go back out now and have a look from the pool onwards. So there's us coming back at the supermarket with that chap's coming now. Background here, there's a lift if you need it for the kiddies' prams, and there's a set of steps. Those steps effectively go up to the top where we just came down, the big set of steps. And we go back out towards the main pool area this way. So back out again with the main kind of first pirate pool. There's the open air lunch restaurant that we previously mentioned on our left. Pirate pool. There's the steps we just came down, just to give you some orientation. And what we'll do is we'll just have a quick look at the map here to give you an idea of where you are going, because it's quite a large complex. And if you look at this, you can see that everything sits down to the left where we are. So we're currently standing kind of here. There's the pirate pool there. And our room is actually up number 630 something. We're just over in that block there, just off to the right. We're in number 653, just off the right of the Olympic pool. So if you can orientate yourself, pirate pool, seating area, Olympic pool, and then the beach sits off to your left up there. Okay, it does mention things like soccer courts, mini golf. Now that's a different issue. Again, we'll have a quick look at the state of them. They're not in great nick. But that's the orientation of how you arrive, and realistically if you're in any of the main rooms, it'll be off to the right hand side of this main walkway leading up here, which is where I'm about to take you now. So travelling up that main walkway, there's a wee kiddies kind of baby toddler pool. Very small, but I suppose if you've got kids of that age, then it's useful. This walkway heads all the way up to the Olympic pool, they call it. You'll see it in the videos, the pictures, the one with the big kind of Grecian style pillars. We'll just take a quick spin up on the left here, and this is the other half of the pirate pool. Okay, so it's a bigger section. Again, the water is not green, perfectly clear, and there's the reception up there that we're sitting. That's the stairs we came down, and that's the outdoor seating area above and the outdoor seating area below. and a few other apartments just kind of wrapping it. So people, so this bit's a bit weird. It's kind of a no man's land in between the pirate pool and the main pool. It's just a big massive bit where people sit really. The main bar that's open all the time and the one that you'll be using after hours is sitting over here on the left of the pirate ship pool. It's really the only outdoor bar that they have apart from at the beach, and the guy at the beach one's a bit grumpy anyway, so we've only used it once. But this one is where you get all your daytime drinks and nighttime drinks, is this long one here, so we'll have a closer look. Now the all-inclusive drinks is there's no bottled water, okay? They have these kind of water tub things at the left hand side of the bar. Tried it, it's cool enough. Doesn't overly taste very nice, but for instance the brandy drinks are all basically Greek style, I presume whiskey, rum, vodka, that type of stuff. Iced coffees. It's not a slushy machine, it's a kind of fake mocktail machine at the back there, and then the iced lattes, which we have availed of a lot. Now to give you an overall picture, people have been complaining in other videos about the rubbish. The rubbish during the day is not really an issue. As you can see, it's nice and clean and tidy, the bins are plentiful. I think the rubbish issue is really reliant on, depends on the guests as the day goes on. If people aren't putting their rubbish away, then it is going to blow about. So in an honest review, there isn't an issue that we have witnessed, apart from at the end of the day there's a few cups and plates floating around. So what we're going to do is cross back over this kind of no man's land onto that path that we came up, and then we're going to go and see the Olympic pool. So back, walking up the main pathway. So behind me is actually a really nice view. It's the hills that encompass kind of Kos in a certain area. There's reception behind us, and dead ahead is the Olympic style pool, they call it now. Fun fact, the Olympics were actually invented in Greece, hence the Olympic style pool, which is 50 meters by 25 meters. There's no slides in this one. They do have a lunchtime snacky bar thing, which you'll see the queues all lined up here. So have a quick look at what they serve for snacky lunch if you don't want to go back over to the buffet style one underground. There's public toilets just to the amphitheatre, which sits in behind here on your left.
Some food as well.
Some food, hey. And this is where the nighttime entertainment commences. Now we have not come down here because it is quite busy. It's enough room for about 300 people. Lots of noise, stage area. If it's your thing, crack on. Sounds alright, just not our thing. The toilet's just sitting behind it. There's about 4 cubicles, reasonable condition. Okay, but it is, again, if you think of the numbers that are coming in here day on, day out, they are what they are. It's a wet floor because we're next to a pool. Yeah, it's toilets at the end of the day. There's me, rock and roll. So if you want to complain about that and say it's a 1-star, well, I suppose that's up to the quality of the guests that use them and if they clean their feet and wash their hands, but it is what it is at the end of the day. So you'll see people coming back here from the other restaurant with their burgers, etc. There's a seating area, and this is the kind of the gyro, whatever way you want to pronounce it, but generally it's hot dogs, gyros, ice cream. There is beer, etc. on tap. Not a great fan of the beer personally, I think it's quite weak. But this is the kind of snacky area that most people queue up from. It takes about 10 minutes from that point to give you an idea. If that queue is going back to the second palm, you've got about a 10-minute wait. It's all very nice. But the food wise, it's very nice. Chips, gyros, hot dogs, all the usuals there. Coke machine, etc. But again, no bottled water. So what we're at the minute, we're at the bottom of the Olympic style pool. This is the quieter, should I say, probably the easier to access. Big pool, loads of room, sunbeds on the right and sunbeds on the left. Numbers wise, probably about 300 sunbeds in total. It's not enough for the amount of guests here. However, find me a hotel that has enough sunbeds. Plenty of people. Just to give you a heads up, the area that are surrounding the pool is quite slippy, okay? So these tiles here on the access steps, just take it easy. It's not impassable, probably could do with an upgrade, but it is a wee bit slippy, especially in your crocodocs. But nobody's fallen yet, so we're all good. There's the lifeguard sitting up there. He's present all the time. He's present in person. Whether he's a body is another question. He doesn't seem to take too much interest, but we haven't seen any instance of note yet. So we have our 4 sunbeds over here on the far right, and I'll just bring you up there now. So moving on from the Greek style pool, or the Olympic pool should I say, we're still on that same main stretch of path. Now our room is number 653, where you see this chap going up the stairs around the corner. Different video for the room just to give you an over idea of what it actually looks like. But the complex is fundamentally these 2-story flat tops, single story rooms, if you know what I mean. So one on the bottom, one on the top. Small play park if you have small kiddies. Again, not wow way, but it's an area. They do actually on-site diving if you want to take diving lessons. We were thinking about it, but we just don't have the time at the moment. So you do your practice in the main pool we've just seen, and then they take you out to the ocean. So you'll see from, again, take your own subjective approach. 4-star hotel, ground maintenance I think is adequate and suitable. They're out cutting the grass, it's very tidy, you've got palm trees everywhere. I suppose there have been some complaints in other videos we've watched and reviews about the travel distance to your hotel or your room. The guys that picked us up, you'll see the van down there, they tend to drive you to the room, so maybe they just missed the room. So it would be a bit of a trek with suitcases, I agree, but again, maybe a bit of research on what you're doing and how to actually do it in the time that you turn up. So there's 2 ways to the beach from this. So basically, all the pools, etc. you saw on the way in, and they'll sit on your left-hand side. All of this is all the rooms from 0 to 650, I think, or 700. All different pathways and different ways up and in. So looking back down there, you'll see the hills in the background. Reception's just down there. This is the main road leads up. Pools off to the right, both off to the right. And there's a couple of ways to get to the beach. Now you can follow this road round, which is what we did the first day. You go up and round here. So we're just going to take a quick spin up here and a quick view of the beach. See, it's funny, after reading all the reviews of this should be a 1-star, you know, the rubbish line about the pools are green, can't get a sunbed. If you go on any TripAdvisor review of any all-inclusive hotel, you'll find that you can't get a sunbed unless you're down there the night before or 6 o'clock. Rubbish wise, like I say, that is up to the patrons that actually use the place to use the bins, so you can't really blame a hotel for that. Yes, they are keeping on top of it. Ground wise and maintenance, I think they're very tidy. I mean, you'll see just a quick spin round here on the way to the beach. You know, they're watering the grass, it's green, there's trees, there's flowers, there's palm trees. It's definitely the best grounds I've stayed in on a hotel basis by far. So I can't really, I mean, I would say it lives up to the 4-star on the grounds and the layout of the place, because it is very pretty, very beautiful. The palm trees, like I say, it's like almost like Miami stroke Morocco stroke wherever. I've never been in Greece before, so a very pleasant surprise. On the route to the beach is the long route I'm on. So you come up that path that we did up past the Olympic pool on the left, follow it round to the left, and then you're basically walking this route past the tennis courts and the football pitches, they call it. Now they are not in good nick, okay? But the good news is the hotel's been bought over in the last year, I believe, and there's been significant input into improving the overall facilities. So if we flick to the tennis courts, change the view, you'll see that yes, the tennis courts are not in good order. They have been somewhat neglected, okay? So don't bring your tennis racket just yet. So on that side, 1-star, okay? So the facilities that way, not good. That's the walkway still continuing on that leads down towards the beach, which is over to our right. And I'm just going to bring you there, and that goes past, I think, a basketball court, the crazy golf they call it, and the volleyball pitch, I think. But again, location wise, so where I'm looking right now is effectively into the hotel complex, just over those buildings. Everything's over that way. So I wouldn't say it's beach side, but it's very close. It takes you about 4 minutes to walk to the beach. So we're going to have a quick look at the beach and then come back the short way, and I'll show you where that comes in. So another 1 minute walk down that little path, and there is a crazy golf, and it is crazy because if you want to play on it, it's going to be some fun. Again, needs a bit of a refurb, but I'm hoping in the next coming 12 months, with the money that's put into it, they can bring it up to that kind of standard. Now, to give you a shorthand version, all that route we've just walked, as you pop out on the next road on your left, see there, that is the pirate shippy pool. Okay, it's just there. So if we come back out, just come down from the tennis courts there, okay, pirate ship pool, and then we pan round 180 degrees and there's the beach right there. So it really is not far away at all. We took the long way around, nice and scenic if you want the short way, 2 minutes from the poolside. So we're gonna have a quick look at the beach. It is a windy day, but as I said, the wind is actually, it's quite refreshing because it is warm. It's the warmest place I've ever been anyway. We're very, very close to Turkey. Bodrum and Antalya sit just over behind me. I'll see if I can see it from the beach. I don't know what the sound's going to come out like in this video, but we'll give it a go. But the visual's really what you're looking for. It's just here. See you in a minute. So, poolside bar. Okay, sits on the hotel side of the little small road. Basic drinks. Again, no bottled water, cocktails, whatever you want. Here is the beach that owns, well, effectively hotel own this part of the beach. It's called the Kipriotis Beach, as we can see there. Don't get run over by the rentals, you can tell the foreigners. And so again, I don't know how this sound is going to pan out in this video because of the wind. The sun loungery things, these things with the flapping curtains are 15, I think 15 euros. Yeah, the gazebo. 15 euros, and sunbeds are 3.50 each, which I think is quite reasonable, given we've been on some beaches that are 10 euros each. You've got showers there if you need it. Now, another thing we read in reviews is, oh, the state of the walkways and the state of the beach, and you need shoes. Yeah, it's a beach. It's a natural phenomenon. Okay, the hotel didn't invent that. It's quite a pebbly beach, and you will need shoes or Crocs or paddling things because it's not overly sandy. It is if you go back up that way towards Kos, which is about 5 kilometers away. But hey ho, you know, it is what you make it. So I'll give you a quick view of the boardwalks and see what you think. So here's the boardwalk. Walking, walking, walking. There's a few missing boards here and there. But as a natural beach, very pretty, but it is choppy. So that's it. There's about 40 of those wee pods, and there's more private beaches all the way down here. It runs the entire way to Kos. The water is choppy, but it is really warm. It's very, very comfortable temperature swimming. Extremely salty. And the good news is the current always seems to be coming in. So even the further you swim out, you always get pushed back in. So realistically, for such a choppy beach, it's actually a very safe beach. We were in it the first day and the second day, but the stones, it is a stony beach. Okay, nothing much you can do about that. So that's the beach. There's Turkey over there. Oh, finger. If you want your geography lesson, Turkey and Bodrum sits just over there. That's Bodrum, that's some other part of Turkey. And there's some more Greek islands. Woo! So that's your rundown of the beach. Okay, we're 2 or 3 minutes from the main pool area. I think it's a very nice beach. It is no Mauritius, but it's nice. There's fish in the water if you bring your snorkel. And like I say, the tide or the current is always pushing towards what appears to be the beach side. So even as you swim out, it'll push you in. Very, very salty actually. You just can't sink. You cannot sink. I tried to dive to the bottom, it's only about 2 or 3 meters, but we cannot sink. So just as a point to note, the scooters, we're going to rent these later on when we do a facilities tour of the island. I think there's an app or something you need to download. Charge you by the minute or by the hour, I'm not sure. I'm going to figure out how you use these, but you just basically scan the code and then borrow them and then head off. Loads of these pathways run along the side of the road, so everywhere a car goes, you can bring a scooter, or you can bring your bike, or you can walk it if you really want. like I say, that is effectively the beach area for Kipriotis Village. And then we are going to go back down. So there's the hotel. There's the beach, okay, where we've just been. There's the hotel. So I'm going to take you down this short route here. And we're going to see just how quickly you get back to the main pool area, okay? So I'm going to time it. I'm not going to video the whole thing because you just get bored of me walking. Don't really have any more fun Grecian facts. Studied it in school, Greek mythology and ancient Rome, etc. So it's all very interesting. We did actually go and visit Hippocrates' ancient site of, I think, 3000 BC, give or take. Maybe upload some of the pictures and videos about 20 minutes from here, but well worth the visit if you do want a bit of Greek history, because this island is steeped in history. Or you can stay in a hotel for 7 days straight. I personally think rent the car. Like I say, we got ours from Autobank at the airport. Cheapest one there is about €270, €450 for a week, about £400 an hour money. Very good. Had a breakdown yesterday. The guys were on us within 20 minutes, had us up and running. Now we're back at the hotel. So I think really good service, good value for money, and more importantly, no deposit of like 1,200 stupid euros. So anyway, just quickly, I'm going to flick the camera. That's where we walked up. Actually, just technically walked up the path, but that goes the same way. Let's say we came in this way and we turned right towards the beach. So we've come back down here now and we're at a bit of a crossroads. Okay, this all wraps the entire hotel. This one here is your quickest route back to hotel if you are going to the beach. This will bring you to the other side of the pirate ship, the second kind of pool area, a bit bigger. So really from pool to beach, about 3 minutes. There's no issue carrying the stuff that you need. I actually stand corrected, okay? So that short walk, which took me about 50 seconds from the last bit, is actually at the top of the Olympian style pool. Okay, so it's not the pirate. So it actually brings you even closer to, for us anyway, because we're staying just to the corner. So you actually appear at the Olympian style pool. So I'm on the other side now, so hotel reception's over there. So if you can get your orientation, hills in the background, reception, cafes, restaurants, Olympic or pirate pool, and we're sitting over just on the left hand corner here. And the beach, you can almost see it, is just in the background there down that path. Far quicker route, don't need to go around. So again, make your own judgment of the standard of pool. It is about 2 meters deep at the deepest and 1.25 I think at the shallowest, so it is a graded pool. But it's never really, this is the busiest it gets. Plenty of room, loads of room for floaties. Water's perfectly warm, very, very comfortable swimming conditions, and you'll see the hills in the background, so cracking scenery. And that effectively rounds up the hotel facilities. What we're going to do now is sit in about 1:45. We're going to go for lunch. I'm going to do a separate video for the food and the lunches and the breakfast and the dinners, because I don't like to bombard it all into the one video. I'm going to give you an honest view of the food. Day 1, this is day 5, we've got another couple of days to go. So I'll give you an honest view of what we think of the food. Again, trying to get you guys to actually judge it for yourself, because anybody can sit on TripAdvisor and write a review and say this is rubbish, this is 1 star, this shouldn't be open, don't go here. My personal view on a hotel of the rooms, the facilities, the way it's kept, the routes, the maintenance, I suppose the rubbish, I think it's a 3 star. Okay, wouldn't say 4, but then it's graded differently in these countries. But I think a 3 star is quite a decent, strong, everything's where it needs to be, people are where they need to be, it's not overcrowded, the facilities are quite close when you actually walk them and learn the routes. And again, stunning location with the hills, etc., the beach on your doorstep if you want it. Everybody's view is different. So maybe some people have come here and seen differently, but all we can judge on is the 6-7 days that we're spending here and giving you a genuine feedback on would we come here. If you were to come back as it stands at the moment, I would say yes, 100%. Food, slightly different story, but that is subjective depending where you come from, what you're used to and what we really expect. So but we'll cover that hopefully in the following video. So again, you can have a look at it. If you like it, great. If you don't, well then that's part of the review, isn't it? But that is Kipriotis Village Hotel. 700 rooms split up into the various apartments over the space of don't know how many acres. It's big enough, but it's a nice walk, it's a nice grounds, it's fairly laid back, and it's all within kind of striking distance, like I say. There we are. Peace out. See you in the next video. Boo!